Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. I want to pull up a few quotes. Well, I've already pulled them up. So I want to read a few quotes from the late, great brother Malcolm X. And it's about the media. And one of his quotes, because Brother Malcolm X understood the media. Now, you know, these quotes are 50, 60 years old. And as they always say, they still resonate today. He understood how the media was used to create a narrative that's not there. Show you something that's not really real. You think it's that one way, but it's that other. Anyway. One of the quotes said, if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. He also said the media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent, and that's power because they control the minds of the masses, which is true. And the media has started a lot. The media has started a lot of wars, a lot of conflicts. People put things. You want to go something as simple as East Coast, West Coast back in the 90s, when it was actually Death Row and Bad Boy, Tupac versus Bad Boy. It was no East Coast, West Coast, but the media created that to the point to where it almost worked, to where people were starting to choose sides. Even your boy Ice Cube, they had the West Side Connection. Now he tried to come out now lately, kind of downplay it. It's for the respect. He did it for the respect because he felt like the West wasn't getting respect. But my question is, who was they not getting respect from? Because I know down here that Ice Cube was getting played. I know it was getting played everywhere. Matter of fact, now I know maybe like in the 80s when rap hip hop was starting and you had early 90s, late 80s, early 90s maybe, when hip hop was really expanding. Heard stories how NWA get booed and how Ghetto Boys and them got booed, and anybody else who tried to go UGK getting booed. They wasn't trying to listen to us country folk. But as time went on, they warmed up to the east, to the west and the south, and the rest is history. But, West Side Connection was the answer to the East Coast. And it came out during that quote unquote East versus West rivalry. But again, it didn't blow up no bigger than what it was, because after Tupac and Biggie both got taken out, people stepped back and was like, nah, need to reevaluate this. I think the deaths of those two brothers is what's really stopped that rivalry from blowing up, because nobody was trying to hit it. You lost your two greatest at the time. And it was a blow to just hip hop community. Let's see. I like this one though. When I replaced with we, even the illness becomes wellness. Think about it. I like the way. I'm just saying it just to put it out there because it's a nice quote. Here's another quote. When the people who are in power want to create an image to justify something that's bad, they use the press. And they'll use the press to create a humanitarian image for a devil or a devil image for a humanitarian. They take a person who's a victim of a crime and make it appear he's the criminal, and they take the criminal and make it appear that he's a victim of the crime. Now, why am I reading these quotes about the press from Malcolm X? Because nothing has changed. It's still the same. They use the press to get out there and push a narrative. We see things like the border crisis. Your Democrats, your liberals, they want you to believe that in the beginning. It's funny because they want you to believe that it was no crisis. And they push that narrative. Greg Abbott, like, it's a problem down here. There's too many of them come across these borders. We ain't getting no help stopping them. President, like, no, we're not going to stop them. There's no problem. There's no crisis. So he said, okay, if there's no crisis, then we're going to shoot them up to your sanctuary cities. He did that. Now Greg Abbott is a boogeyman, right? He was wrong. He was being inhumane. He was human trafficking. They tried to come at him with that, like, no. Y'all got sanctuary cities. We're going to process them down here, and then we're going to ship them up there because we ain't got the resources to handle them down here. We're going to destroy our state like that. We're not going to allow that to happen. He became the devil. He was evil. This, that, and the third. Now, all of a sudden, you got people from Republican and Democrats are like, wait a minute. I think Greg Abbott, that cat might have been on or something. Yeah, because we can't handle this up here in New York. We can't handle this in Chicago. You got suburbs outside of Denver talking about, no, they're holding city council meetings talking, and the citizens are like, do not help Denver. We ain't trying to, we do not want to help, and we ain't got the money. We ain't trying to bring our cities down. You see the way the other cities look? We better wish like hell you would. So now, like I said, the narrative is changing that, oh, it looks like it could be a crisis, and I could, talking about Biden, I could close the border, but you got to pass this bill. If y'all don't pass this bill that includes giving money to Ukraine and Israel, then you don't care about the American citizens. It's like, and we're sitting here like, what in the heck is he talking about? And even the Republicans are like, what is he talking about? What we trying to take care of the border first. The heck with the mother countries. We got people coming here from hundreds of countries coming across here illegally, and y'all ain't doing nothing to stop it. And you want to blame us because we don't want to give money to Ukraine yet? Come on, man. But that's how the media, they use the media to put that out there. Like, 1 minute it's not that bad. Here they even had Roland Martin do a segment with what's his name, Dr. Carr, where they talked about people saying that the crisis was not a crisis. It was being blown out of proportion by the Republicans and MAGA and blah, blah, blah. And black folks are stupid for following them. And then like 2 days later, somebody come out and say, yeah, we got a problem and I can close the border tomorrow. So these guys was used as puppets to spin a narrative and didn't even know what was going on. But anyway, I use that because I don't know if y'all know it though or not, but Mr. George Soros, if y'all don't remember that name, he was a guy that was accused of funding Black Lives Matter during the whole George Floyd thing. And he's a guy with lots of money, billions, worth billions, and has donated to all kind of liberal policies all over the world. And he's a staunch backer of the liberal party, liberal beliefs, which is crazy because you would think somebody with that much money wouldn't be behind Democrats, but he said that he didn't want to be a Democrat, but the Republicans back when George Bush, I think it had started when George Bush was in office, 9/11 happened, and the way George Bush went and started these wars and invading these countries, George Soros was like, nah, he's trying to be, autocratic instead of democratic. And so he was going to do everything he could to stop that because he believed in democracy. So they said that's where the start of his liberal funding began. So he has backed like Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden. He's backed these Democratic president and president nominees. And so now he's trying to make sure Trump doesn't get in office. So what did he do? He went to the media. And if you read the dailymail.com, it says that George Soros poised to control 220 radio stations via $400 million Odyssey bailout, stoking fears of progressive billionaire leading second biggest U.S. network during 2024 election. Now, for those of y'all who think people are scared of ghosts, understand this. George Soros said, I'm going to click on something real quick on the Texas Tribune. He said, this is in 2024. This is in January. It said, new George Soros-backed Democratic PAC aims to turn Texas blue. The group is, quote, helping to build party infrastructure at the regional level because the various regions of our state are distinct and therefore require different strategies, a PAC official said. Now, see, people like George Soros is like, I don't want to say he make us look bad, but that's black. I'm talking about black Americans. But black Americans follow people like George Soros because he got a lot of money, think he know what he's doing, but you don't have, what you say, the same, your reasoning for what you're doing is not the same as his. Now, he's going Democrat no matter what. He gets to this whole migrant crisis. They say they believe that he helped fund some of these people coming from like Venezuela and South America and any other country. These caravans that's coming up to Mexico and Texas. There's a belief that he helped fund these excursions. He denied, but I just can't believe just anybody all the time. Sometimes what you show is, you got to kind of, I need a few more witnesses. I need something notarized. Because if anybody could do it, he could. And you ain't got to do it through your foundation. You got the money to do it through anything, to do anybody. And you not know it. You know how many things are done around the world politically with money and nobody knows who's behind it? So, hey, I won't say yay, I won't say nay, but I won't say it's out of the realm of possibility. So anyway, George Soros is trying to buy these radio stations. So let's get into it. And so we can, see if we can't deep dive into it. George Soros looks to set to control radio company Odyssey and its more than 220 stations nationwide, stuck in fear of an ultra-progressive billionaire having a megaphone during the 2024 election. Well, the first paragraph and the dang on me title is the same thing it is on dailymail.com. I don't get that. Soros Fund Management has bought up more than $400 million of the radio and podcast companies' highest ranking debt, bankruptcy court filings show. That would make Soros investment firm the biggest shareholder when Odyssey emerges from bankruptcy. They say it runs New York's FWAN and 1010 Winds and Los Angeles-based KROQ bankruptcy filing showing. So you talking about New York and LA, like two of the biggest cities in the country. And he's about to run the radio stations there. The debt by it has along conservatives who have railed against Soros' multi-million-dollar payouts to progressive political causes aligned with the Democratic Party. One conservative ex-Twitter account said the Hungarian-born financier will use the station to attempt to influence voters in the coming elections. If you don't think he will, like I said, the man already said he's part of a PAC trying to turn Texas blue. Now remember, Biden won Texas by a mere 6%. But now I think it'll be a larger margin, or it'll probably be a larger margin because of the border crisis. Unless he can do something drastic and dramatic, it's not going, he has no chance here. Now, again, we talking about spinning the narrative. You read the articles, the stories where they're saying he's losing a lot of the black votes. He's losing Hispanic votes. Because he got Hispanic people here who saying they don't like all these migrants coming over here. White people, white women, out there saying they don't like all these migrants coming over here. So now he got to change his tune. And which is why he's talking about closing the border. He can close the border today, but I need the bill passed. No, you can do an executive order and get the border closed. You don't need all that. But he's trying to spin a narrative because he could do it easily. But what he's trying to do, I think in the beginning it was trying to make it seem like everything is Trump's fault. The Republicans is keeping him from doing stuff. And then when they came out and said, no, you can actually do an executive order and close the border. Then he came out real quick. Said, oh, wait a minute. Y'all don't want the border closed because you ain't passing this bill. Because you got to get ahead of it because it's getting close to November and people are turning against him. He already has a low, what do you call it? Don't nobody like him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is it, like less than 50%? It might be like 34%. And just people are just not liking him because of the things that he's doing. And a lot of it has to do with the migrant policy. When it comes to Black America, a lot of it has to do with reparations or the non-passing of a George Floyd bill or the non-passing or the non-looking into an anti-Black hate crime bill, not revamping the police, like all these things that you promised and said you was going to do and look into, not talking to Ice Cube or the plan for Black America. We see all that. And we're tired of being lied to. So people are saying we're either going to vote for Trump or we're going to vote for the couch. But we're not voting for the Democrats. How long do you think that guy will allow all of those conservative radio stations to stay in operation? Added Stacey Washington, a right of center podcaster and commentator. Odyssey, in a statement, called the cash injection a significant vote of confidence in our company and the future of the radio and audio business. I guarantee some people are going to get fired, especially like some conservative podcasters and hosts and radio hosts. Yeah, they're going to get fired because, like I said, he's trying to get the country blue. Keep it blue. Soros fund management and lawyers for the creditors didn't immediately answer requests for comment. It's just the latest media investment for Soros, who became a boogeyman for U.S. conservatives after throwing millions behind liberal district attorneys' election campaigns. The fund was part of a group that paid $350 million for bankrupt Vice Media last summer. It earlier took a minority stake in podcast company Crooked Media, a podcasting outfit founded by former Obama administration officials. Odyssey filed for bankruptcy in January, crushed by some $1.9 billion of long-term debt. Including the lease obligations and other commitments, the company reported $2.67 billion in debt at the time of the filing. Under Odyssey's bankruptcy plan, existing shareholders will be wiped out and high-ranking creditors will be repaid with stocks in the restructured company. That plan requires approval from Houston Bankruptcy Court, which is set to hear the case on February 20. Interesting that's in Houston because Houston is a blue city. Interesting. Out of all the cities in Texas, chose Houston. Keep an eye on this, everybody. Because see, thing about George Soros is this. He's been a controversial figure for a while. You know that movie, what's it called? Inside Man with by Spike Lee with Denzel Washington. And the premise behind the story is there was a guy who was a Jewish guy back in the days of World War II, the Holocaust, and somehow got all this land from other Jewish people who was running and took their land for like pennies on the dollars. Got the deeds and titles, and then when everything was over and done with, he had all this land, all these deeds, and sold them all, became real wealthy, became a millionaire. A lot of people thought that is what George Soros did because he was a Hungarian Jewish guy, was young, his family fleeing, changed the last name. I think his last name was Schwartz. Dad changed the name to Soros. He went to go live. George went to go live with a Hungarian politician, I believe. And when he walked, when that guy went around and made rounds across the country, he was taking Jewish people land. And George Soros was there. Here's my thing about money. When you create things like investment firms and super PACs and hedge funds, you got to have money to do that. You just can't wake up one day and say, hey, let me go ask 5 people that I know who got a lot of money. See if we can't have an investment group and start investing. Especially from just saying the blue, if you got no kind of history of investment, if you ain't got no money, you ain't got, if you broke and ain't got no investment history, it's not gonna happen. Matter of fact, anybody watching this video, go and try to go to banks, go find you some people with a lot of money, some millionaires somewhere, and tell them you want to invest, you want to create a hedge fund, okay? Or some kind of investment group, because you got ideas to buy things. First, they're gonna probably wonder, what kind of money do you guys? Probably they're gonna ask first, what kind of history you got of investing? And then once you tell them you got none, you just got ideas, see how much money you get. Bottom line is, you're gonna have to have some kind of money. Now, that's why in politics, you gotta have money. You're not really politicking. So this is why they'll continue to have stuff like the electoral college. This is why you have to, vote locally. This is why you have to put money behind politicians locally too. You have to give politicians, because that's what it's about. Period. That's what it's about. When you got the money, you can buy radio stations. You can use the media. You can say, the heck with this. People are dumb, don't want to hear, don't want to listen to what we're trying to say. They believe that Donald Trump is going to save the world because Joe Biden is the devil. So I'm gonna get out here. We're gonna buy these radio stations, and we're gonna push the narrative, but we're gonna change this country blue. That's what his goal is. Now, this guy's worth, they say $8 billion, but they say he is giving away over $30 billion to different causes across the world for decades. This is nothing different. So the thing that I would want to say, and I'm going to say, and I'm going to go back to one more Malcolm X quote to try to summarize it. It says, one of the first things I think young people, especially nowadays, should learn is how to see for yourself and listen for yourself and think for yourself. Then you can come to an intelligent decision for yourself. If you form the habit of going by what you hear others say about someone, or going by what others think about someone, instead of searching that thing out for yourself and seeing for yourself, you will be walking west when you think you're going east. And you will be walking east when you think you're going west. Bottom line is, no matter what this guy does, no matter how many radio stations and media outlets George Soros purchases, no matter what he puts out there to try to get you to either stay blue or to turn blue, you have to go and research things for yourself. You have to remember, the reason for you to vote is not because your ancestors died so you can vote Democrat. Because if that's the case, your ancestors died and you was voting Republican. Like, seriously. That's not why they died either. It's for you to have the right to choose the outcome, to play a part of the outcome in your life. So that means you go and you vote for policies, not people, not parties, not color, but for policies. Not because your homeboy doing it, not because your mama, your grandma, your grandpa, your daddy, your wife is making you vote this way, your husband is making you vote. No, you do it because of the pot, not because the politician look good, you think you're handsome, or you think she's looking good, think she's fine and thick. No, that is not why you vote. You vote for policy. You keep that in mind. You remember, it doesn't matter what George Soros does to try to sway this election legally. Now, it's funny, like, it's not called illegal, but because they know how to, when you got money, you can kind of bend the system a little bit. and do things and throw your hands up like, hey, they let me do it, I'm gonna do it. But anyway, like I was trying to say, no matter what he does, no matter what Biden does, no matter what Trump does, if you just vote on the policies, and it starts with the local elections for sure. Shout out to Killer Mike for saying that. But you vote for the policies that's best for you and your people, you'll be all right. So what does that entail? Study. Looking up your politicians and going to their websites, because they all got websites. They got PACs that got websites. You can look up the information online and see things that they have. Hey, you can go on government websites. You can look it up and see what politicians have voted for, have fought for in the past, and what they're running on now. It ain't that hard at all. So think for yourself. Continue to be a free thinker and vote for policy. But with that being said, tell me what you think. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace. And I'll see you on the other side.